If you're like me, you might not be particularly fond of sales calls. And when I first started my coaching business 8 years ago, I stumbled upon this marketing strategy no one seems to talk about these days. So, are you ready? Let's get right to it. Hi guys, it's Julish, and if you ever dreamt about a world without icky sales calls, today's video is for you because we're going to talk about good old word-of-mouth marketing. But what makes a business word-of-mouth friendly, and why should you even care? Well, it turns out that word of mouth is actually responsible for 20 to 50% of all purchases. It's twice as persuasive as advertising, and surprisingly, only 7% of it happens online. But the best part of it all, people have already made up their minds before jumping on a call with you. So today I will be counting down on 3 tips to make your business more word-of-mouth friendly, and make sure to stick around till the end where I will reveal my favorite advice on how to jumpstart your word-of-mouth strategy. And if you want to learn more about marketing yourself with ease, hit subscribe for more videos on personal branding and marketing coming your way. Tip number 3, give them a story they'll love. So neuroscientists found that when listening to a well-told story, the same brain areas light up in both the storyteller and the listener. And that's the reason why great stories stick. Your brain acts as if you're right inside of them. If you think about a brand that actually means something to you, it's most probably because you tie it to some sort of a narrative. And one of the most interesting stories that you can tell for your business is how the founder created the service or the product to begin with. Want an example? Have a look at how Sarah Blakely presents her origin story.
And I decided to cut the feet out of control top pantyhose one day, and I threw them on under my white pants and went to the party. I looked fabulous, I felt great, I had no panty lines, I looked thinner and smoother, but they rolled up my legs all night. And I remember thinking, this should exist for women. I have to set the stage for you on where I am in my life at this moment. I'd never taken a business class. I'd never worked in fashion or retail. I'd actually been selling fax machines door to door for 7 years since graduating from college, and I had $5,000 in savings. I just moved out of my mom's house, and I was dating a loser, so my life was great.
Remember, people buy from people, so don't be afraid to dig into your story and share the moment you decided to make your business a reality, because that's when people start to care. And when people care, they start to share. Tip number 2, create memorable moments. This is actually one of the secrets to turning customers into loyal fans. And the reason it's so powerful is that as humans, we love to be seen as savvy and in the know, and we like to share things that make us look good. Researchers call this social currency, and if you want to learn more about this, I recommend you to read Jonah Berger's book, Contagious. A great example for a memorable moment is the Hamilton cast giving away a free street concert to announce that they're reopening after the pandemic. You can see how potential customers are left being forced to share this with their friends. Now you might say, I'm not an award-winning musical cast, and you're right. As an online entrepreneur, these moments can look like sending out a spontaneous video greeting, or sending out a recommended book list. And sometimes they even can look like a handwritten letter, like the one I got from Ali Abdal for finishing the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. Now, one thing I get asked a lot is, what about spontaneous sales and price reductions? The point of creating memorable moments is not to make a sale. It's to elevate your brand. And you don't want people to fall in love with your brand because you give away free stuff. You're not Oprah. And finally, we arrived at my favorite tip. Tip number 1, invest in your customer experience. Now you might say that sounds a little bit obvious, but hear me out. When it comes to your word-of-mouth marketing, how often have you thought about building reach on social media? Or what to post next to promote your offer? My guess is if you're here, you thought about it a lot. But how often have you really thought about improving your customer experience step by step? If you just blanked, that's really not your fault. In fact, there are so many out there who want to make us believe that vanity metrics matter more than the product or the service in itself. But especially when you're a service provider or a coach type of person, that's simply not true. So if you want to get those referrals in at some point in your business, focus on your customer experience first. And here are some things that you might want to take under consideration. Firstly, the quality of your offer. There's a simple truth to this. People tend to recommend businesses that over-deliver. So you really want to understand what your competitors are already doing and what your ideal client is expecting, so you can make a real difference in your ideal client's life. The buying and sales experience. So one of my clients is a fashion photographer here in Barcelona, and after many years in business, she realized that she wanted to step away from fashion and only take the contracts that really would make her heart sing. After a while of brainstorming, she realized that she could easily offer headshots to actors to pay her wage. So she started to build up a following on social media, created beautiful shots for her websites, but after a while got really frustrated. She didn't get the results she wanted. So we had a look at all of her material and realized that her sales funnel basically wasn't existent. Meaning people could look at her material, they could like, they could share, but no one knew how to contact her and no one understood her pricing model. The bottom line here is, doing business with you has to be convenient and seamless. Thirdly, the post-sales experience. So after establishing a seamless sales process, you want to make sure your customer gets their needs met right after the purchase. There is nothing worse than receiving crickets right after the purchasing process, especially if your service or product has a higher price tag. Customers who feel a sense of appreciation and belonging are way more likely to recommend a business to their friends. And the fourth one is pricing and value. And this is an interesting one because it's not about being the cheapest or the most expensive on the market, but about making sure your customer understands the value of your offer. And now have a quick thought. Where can you improve your customer experience? Let me know in the comments below. So there you go. I hope this little riff here helps you jumpstart your word of mouth strategy today and avoid those icky sales calls. And if you want to learn more about marketing yourself with ease, check out this custom playlist right here. Take care and I'll catch you next time. Bye.